guys. Share my live. If you have any questions, come over here. Hi, guys. I don't know if you can see me on YouTube. Hi, YouTubers. If you can see me, just type a comment that you can see me and you can hear me. My friends on YouTube, can you see me? I don't even know. Let's wait a few minutes for the YouTube people to join in. I just went live on YouTube as well. All right, yeah, Rose, thank you. They say they can see me, they can hear me. So join in, join in. If you want to ask a question, I'm on TikTok. Let me put my name on TikTok here. So if you're on YouTube, my name on TikTok is that. So you can join in as well. If you want to ask a question live, but other than that, you can type it here. But then sometimes it's so hard to read because the comments keep coming. So it's so hard to read the comments. So I'm gonna go really quick. Let me turn off this music. Okay. Yeah, we got a few people on. Now what did I do? Oh my God. All right. Where is my StreamYard? Okay, there you go. So we got a few people on YouTube. We got a few people. We got 100 people on TikTok. There are people who want to ask questions. I have something that I have to go over. Let me get just a few questions, and then I'm going to go over just the stuff that I wanted to talk about, if I can find it here. I wanted to talk. I have a few questions that people have been asking me, both on my TikTok and my YouTube. They're asking me about, like, you know, the results are coming out on Saturday. So in case you're wondering, in case you didn't know, the results are out this Saturday. So this Saturday is the big day. Guys, make sure you eat. Don't have so much anxiety that you're not eating. Some people are like, oh, I'm not even sleeping. I'm not able to eat. I can't do anything. The anxiety is crazy. Guys, it's just a DV lottery. It's just like any other lottery. So please eat. Take care of yourselves, guys, regardless of the results. Whatever the results is, guys, just know there's a second chance. The green card lottery is every year. So if you don't win this year, there's next year, there's a year after. So you guys still have plenty of time. Okay, so I'm going to go over a few things before I start taking your questions, so that, like, you know, anybody who does not know, that's why I want, like, anybody who's on TikTok, if you can join my YouTube, that would be great, because then I'll do a presentation, like how to check the results. I can go over, like, you know, the DS260 and how to find that when you get it. So TikTok, you can just be hearing me, but like if you're on YouTube, you'll actually see me do it. So let's start by, how do you check the results? To check the results, you need your confirmation number. If you don't have a confirmation number and you have your email that you use to apply, you can use that to check your results. Because if you lost your confirmation number, I'm going to show you on my screen on my YouTube how you can use your email address and what information they ask you to actually retrieve your confirmation number, because you need that. Without that, you're not going to be able to check the results. So if you lost your confirmation number and you don't remember the email that you used, then I can't help you. I can only help you if you have your email address. On Saturday, hopefully I'm going to get a nanny for my kids so that I come live. So for people who are having problems, like, you know, back at home, they can't check their results or whatever, you can say, you'll have to either send me as an email. Maybe you go to my website and just type in, you know, your confirmation number, last name, and your year of birth, and I can check it for you if you want me to do that. Or I don't know how we can do it on TikTok. Maybe you can send me a message on TikTok, but then on TikTok I get so many messages that I don't know how I'm going to keep up with that. So, but then we'll figure something out. We'll make something work. So on Saturday I'll be here. I'll come very early. By the time the results start, it starts at noon New York time. So I'm in the time zone, so I don't have to adjust anything. So noon our time, I'll be right here. I'll be live on all the platforms, TikTok, YouTube, and whatever other platforms are out there that I'm on. Like right now, I think I'm on Facebook as well. I don't know if it's live or not, but I put it in there. Hopefully people on Facebook can watch me. Okay, so let's go over how to check the results again. You need your confirmation number. You need your last name. A lot of people are asking me, what is the last name? Last name, surname, family name, your ancestor's name. So that's what, like, you know, the name that you take from your father that he got from somebody else. So that's the last name. Somebody's asking me, what is the difference between a first name and the last name, does it mean like you write it first? No, that's not it. And sometimes you just ask questions and you have Google. Like Google has answers for everything. Just go type there, what is the difference between a last name and a first name? Everything will show up there. So it's not going to be an issue to know which is which. So the last name usually is the family name, surname, clan's name, traditional name that you have. And then the first name usually in Africa are like the names that, you know, when you go to church, they give you a Christian name, or like, you know, when you get born, the name that usually you're referred to. They call me by Nafula. That's not my first name. Sharleen is. So, but then like, so, you know, you get the idea. So if you're Christine, Mary, those are Mercy, Faith, those are first names. And then the last name is usually your father's name. And sometimes people get married and they change to whatever the husband's name is. So that will be your last name. Like if your husband's name gives you a name, that will be your last name at that time. Okay, so once you have your confirmation number, your last name, and your year of birth, only the year of birth, they don't need the month and the day, you can go to the website and check the results. So, and then like I said, I posted a video a few days ago, I think maybe yesterday or the day before, about how to check the results and how you do it. You just go on YouTube. Not on YouTube. You go on Google. I'm way on YouTube way too much. So you go on Google and then you can type anything. DV lottery results, check DV lottery results. Usually like those key, you know, words, they'll just bring it up. So when it brings up the website, usually like you'll just know, it looks like it has to end in .gov to know like this is a legit website. So if maybe you check and maybe you applied and maybe you don't see anything and you have all the information correct, maybe you didn't go to the right website. So you have to make sure like you use the correct website to check. And if you win or not, it's going to tell you right away. So if you win, it's going to give you a letter. Or if you do not win, it's going to bring the thing that says, you know, unfortunately, you've not been selected. So, and then somebody already is asking me on TikTok, like, what if I applied twice? If you are a principal applicant and you apply twice, chances are very high. You know, I don't, you know, it's a lottery, but like if you apply more than once, chances are very high that you got disqualified. So if a principal applicant makes more than one application, you know, some people think like, because it's a lottery, if I apply 10 times using different pictures or using different names, like they won't know who you are. They will, because there's facial recognition, and how facial recognition is, it can pick your face from anywhere. So if you post your picture twice, facial recognition is able to tell that this person has applied twice or 3 times. And that's how Africans will get disqualified. If you see like the statistics, a lot of people from the African region get disqualified. And that's one of the reasons, not following instructions, because the site itself tells you do not apply more than once. So if you're putting in 3 applications, so, you know, it's not their fault, it's your fault. So you go to the website, type Google anything related to green card lottery results, check, whatever. On May 4th, it's going to be active. For this time, it's only active for DV 2024. So because they're processing their visas for DV 2024, so you're only able to check results for DV 2024. Like even if you didn't win last year, if you go and put your information right now, it will still bring up the information like, you know, you did not win. If you won, it will bring up your 1NL. So you were able to check until the results for May come out, and now you can't check because then we are checking 2024. Now you can check 2024. So you'll be able to check 2024 and 2025. So you can only check, like if you won 2024, you can check from May all the way, I think, to September, because September 30th, once they stop processing and the other entries start in for DV 2026, then you're not going to be able to see the 2024. But for right now, you can still see the 2024. Like we'll do an example right now. I'm going to go, let me share my screen. Hold on, let me pull it up first. So if you want to check the results, so if you're on YouTube, you're able to see the screen right now that I'm looking at. So that screen, like if you go to Google and then you type DV lottery results check or whatever words you choose to use, as long as there's those keywords in there, it will bring you to this page here. So on May 4th, if you're looking at a page and it doesn't look like this, just know like probably you're not on the right website. Usually you see it has the US Department of State, Bureau of Consular Affairs. So that tells you like you're on the right website. If it says anything, if it says .com, if it says something like .edu, .org, that's not correct. All the American related stuff end in .gov. So yours should be ending with the .gov. So as you can see here, everything that is needed, they ask you here. So the first box here, it asks you like, okay, what is your confirmation number? So that's what we want, confirmation number. So if you lost your confirmation number, I'm going to show you how to check that out. But then I'm going to use an example of somebody who actually did not win the green card lottery. So if you're on my YouTube, I know you can see this. So I'm just going to paste. I think this is the first one actually I used yesterday. Maybe I think it's the first one. We'll try. So it was DV 2024. So he applied, he did not win. So his family name is Simiyu, and then he is born 1993. So you have to put confirmation number, your last or family name, and then the year of birth. And then you have to put these letters down here. You see these letters here, down here? These letters, usually they just to confirm like you're a robot, because somebody, you know, with computers, which a robot can be able to access and do the same thing humans do. But then they are not able to actually read this number. So this one shows that you're a human and not a robot. So you just put the numbers in here, like ours is UJN R6. And usually every time you log in, you're going to have different numbers. You're not going to have the same number every single time. So you go in here, and then if you're not able, you know, some people have a problem like reading the numbers and the letters in here. There's a speaker here. There's a speaker here. When you turn it on, I hope my speaker is on. Let me see if my speaker is on.
UJN R6.
Yeah, so you see, so if you're not able to read those numbers or letters, sometimes they bring jumbled up numbers that you're not able to see. So you can just use that speaker and then it will tell you what the numbers are. And then after you're done, you just click submit like that. So after you click submit, on the screen, like you can see, it says this person did not win. It says based on the information you provided. So the information you provided, somebody is asking like what information, the picture, what is the information you provided? The information you provided is the confirmation number that we just put in there. The confirmation last name, the date of birth, that's the information you provided. So it tells you like based on your confirmation number, your last name, and your year of birth, the entry has not been selected for further processing. So this means like this person has not won. So that's how you check the DV lottery results in a simplest way. So you just go to the website, and if you come to my live on the 4th, I'll have the link right there. So you don't have to Google or anything. You just go click on the link. I'll put it in the description box. I'll put it in the pinned comments. So you'll just click on the link and then go ahead and check the results, and you'll see if you won or not. So most people, as much as, you know, I don't want to say this, but a lot of people, majority of people, the message I just showed you, you're going to see that. As much as I don't want to, you know, I know everybody, there's faith, there's whatever, but then at the same time, we have to be realistic. So a lot of people are going to get the message that says you did not win. And you know what you can do, you can just apply next year, or there's so many other ways to come to America. I came here, I keep telling you, I didn't come as a DV lottery winner. I came as a student. And then I won the green card lottery while I was here. So you don't have to come as a DV lottery winner. I came as a student and I'm doing pretty well as a DV lottery winner. So some people will win, some people have to come the way I did. So that's that. That's how you check. And then I'm gonna show you too, like if you win, the kind of letter, I have an example here of my letter that was I got a long time ago. Let me see if I can share it. Let me see if it will allow me to share it. I don't know if it's going to allow me. No, it doesn't let me. It doesn't let me. So what I'm going to do, let me send it to myself as an email. Probably, maybe that will do. Let me send it to myself as an email. Sorry, I'm going to take a few minutes here. Let me send it as an attachment. That way, I think you can You can see it. Okay. So I send it to myself. So let me open it in a browser. I think that should work. Just give me 1 second. Bear with me. Okay. All right. I think now you can see it. I know it's not very big. Maybe let me take myself out, do it this way. I don't know if that you can see. So this is a letter, like if you're on my YouTube, you can see it. So this letter, if you win the green card lottery, the process we just, we went through the process, confirmation number again, last name, year of birth, then you get this letter. When you get this, just know you won. If you don't get the other message that I showed you with only few paragraphs, if you win, they take their time to write you a very nice letter. Yeah, I know somebody, Baba Casey, is saying like you cannot see it. Yeah, because you're on TikTok. So if you want to see what I'm showing other people, like you have to come to my YouTube. The name I pinned it there is NAFULA SHARLEEN. If you come on my YouTube, you'll be able to see the letter that I'm showing. So this letter, you only get it if you won. If you don't win, you're not going to get this. You'll get the other message. You win, this is the message that you'll get. So this message has very important things. First, you have to confirm your name is correct there. The name is written correctly and stuff like that. Like you see up here, it says NAFULA. I just blacked out the other things, but like you see my name NAFULA there. So this is what I won. Like I won a while ago. So that's why it says 2011, because I won DV 2012 and DV 2013. So this is NAFULA. So it has your name here. And then like I told you guys, I didn't win the green card lottery when I was already in America. I won the green card lottery. No, I did not win the green card lottery when I was in Africa. I won the green card lottery when I was in America. So I was a student here and I was going to college. The school was called Principia College. So if you see up here, my name is up here and then the name of the school. Because when I applied for the green card lottery, I didn't put my address back home because I was here. I wanted to process my DV lottery when I won here because this is my current address. So I put the address for that school. So when you see Principia College and then one Maybeck Place, whatever, that's the address. It was in Elsa, Illinois. And then when you come down here, you can see my case number 2012 and then the case number AF with the case number. And then you say, what is that? The category? No, chargeability. That's the most important thing also. When you look at that, it has to say your place where you're born. So I was born in Kenya. I claimed eligibility using Kenya. That's why Kenya is right there. So if you're born in Kenya and that place says a country in Asia, then we have a problem, right? Or maybe that one says like, maybe London, whatever, United Kingdom. It means you claimed the wrong eligibility. And if you claim the wrong eligibility, chances are very high you're not going to get that visa because you're in the wrong region. Because sometimes some people live in Germany or live in UK or live in whatever they live at. And then they are citizens there. And then they apply for the green card lottery and think, because I'm a citizen of the UK or the citizen of Germany, I'll claim eligibility as a German. No, you don't. The only time you can claim eligibility from somewhere else is if, for example, your country does not qualify, like Nigeria, Brazil, they don't qualify to apply for the green card lottery. So if you're Nigerian, you can claim eligibility from another country, and that country, either your wife has to be born in that country. So for example, if your wife is Kenyan or Ugandan, you can claim eligibility based of Uganda. So that person, it can say Uganda here because probably they applied and claimed eligibility based of their spouse's country of birth. Another way is like if you're maybe you are born in Nigeria, but then you're not Nigerian. Your parents are not from there. So maybe I go to vacation. Maybe you decide your wife, husband, they go to Nigeria for vacation, and then you get born there. So you'll be Nigerian by birth, but then both of your parents are not, none of them is Nigerian. So that way, as much as your birth certificate is going to say you were born in Nigeria, you can claim eligibility based off of your parents' country of birth. So if your parents were Kenyan, then you can claim eligibility based on Kenyan. Otherwise, like if you are just a place, you are a citizen in South Africa and you claim eligibility in that country and maybe your place of birth is different, you might have a problem in the interview. Maybe you'll not get that visa. So that's the picture. I'm gonna take it out. So yeah, so that's what you see when you win. So after you win, what do you need to do? So you see that letter, check on May 4th, or maybe I check for you, and then I tell you, you won. You know, everybody wants to hear that, right? You won. Now what? What do I do with this letter? You send me a letter, I see the letter here. What am I supposed to do this letter? What next? I don't know what to do. I knew how to apply, but then what do I need to do next after I win the green card lottery? So number one, you need to find a host. Why do you need to find a host? Because you need to put the host information in your DS-260. So your host information has to be put in your DS-260 because you cannot complete that form without your host address. And it's important to have an address that, you know, somebody lives there, is a residential address, because some people, like I host a lot of green card lottery winners. Some people get here, we do everything. We go online, we change everything, we update the address, we call, we go to the post office, we change the address, but still they send the green card to the previous address that you put there. So that's why it's important to get an address that you actually, if your green card will be sent there, they can send it to you, or you can be able to get a hold of it. So that's why it's important to get a valid address. So address I host, like if I'm going to host you, then I'll provide you with the address. If I provide you with the address, then you can put there. And then even if I end up not hosting you, for example, something happens, maybe you get another host, or it happens, right? If you get another host, then even if your green card lottery, I mean the green card, the card itself is sent here and I receive it, I will still mail it to your address. Because, you know, like if you already, like, you know, I know I was going to host you and you did everything that you needed to do, and then I get your information, then I will send it to whatever you needed to, you know, to receive there, or whatever your current host will be. But then if you use my address and then I get a random green card here, and then you want it back, then you have to pay to get it back, because why did you even use my address without my consent? So let's start there, right? So, but then usually I encourage people, like if I give out my address, don't even try to mess with it. Just go do it the right thing, because you might give a lot of people, because I only give a limited number of people. I don't want to get dinged. So because they know like one person can't leave, you can't host like 100 people, right? So I only give a limited number of people. So you might give one person, they go to the embassy, and you might not be able to get to use that address. So just make sure, like, you know what, when you get the address, you use it, whatever it's intended to be used. If I host you, I'm going to give you my information when you go to the embassy. So I'll be your host. I'll give you what I do here, where you'll be staying, and all that. My phone number in case the embassy needs to contact me, which if they've never. But then if they need to contact me, I have a phone number, a cell phone number, then they can contact me. I only host in New York myself. I live in New York, so I only host in New York. There's a friend of mine who hosts in Iowa. So if you want to go to Iowa, then, and she hosts family. Like if you have kids, like, you know, she can accommodate kids, but then she can't host a lot of people. I think she can host up to 3 or 4 families over there. So it's very limited over there as well. Other than that, it's just me and her. And then some people, like my friends, sometimes they sign up to be hosts, and then sometimes I send you somewhere else. Sometimes I get random texts, whatever. I was sending people everywhere before I started hosting myself. So if I have those people, and maybe you need a different state, I don't even, like now I don't even mess with that. Like if you want to come here and you tell me, okay, can you find me a host in Maryland? Like, who am I? Am I your agent or what? You think people are just here to look for places for you? I can't. If you want to get hosted somewhere else, you just find a travel agency. Pay them the money. They'll find you a host in wherever you want to go. Or they'll find you accommodation in whatever. Don't come tell me, find me a place in Texas for free. Like, who are you? So some people, like, they get me upset because I try to help a lot of people, and some people just try to take advantage. If you don't have a host, where do you care where you go? Because if you're here, you're like, okay, I want to be hosted in where? Florida, right? You don't have a host completely in America. You do not have anybody in America. Like, why do you want to be hosted in Florida when you don't even have anybody? So usually my program is for people who do not have hosts. Let it be not be confused. Like, okay, NAFULA is just hosting and helping. I don't know. Like, my program is different. I do, like, my program is for helping African people for the most part. But if I get applicants from other places who've won the green card lottery, I host them too, because, you know, I help everybody who won the DV lottery. And with my hosting, another thing, like, my hosting, like, we don't coerce you. We don't like, oh, please come. Like, this is not like I know there are people who are doing it for like super business. We're not doing it that way. So us, like, if you're coming to us for me to host you, if you tell me you found another host, that's very good. In fact, I like that. If you find another host, it means like there's somebody in another country that I can take in. So us, we help people. And then with our program, we do a lot. Like I told you, we find you a social security number, we get you an ID, we get you this state ID, we help you with the green card. If you haven't applied, when you get here, you get a job. We help you pay for we guide you through everything. We apply for a job for you. We coach you for the interviews. We take you, sometimes we drive you to the interview and all that stuff. So we are doing that, and that we don't even charge. We don't charge for that. So like when you people are like, okay, so maybe it's business, maybe, yeah, it might be business, but here we don't force you to come. Like I have so many applicants that if you don't want to come, that's fine. I want people who really want the hosting. If you have other alternatives, you have like, you know, other people in the United States, this is not for you. This NAFULA Connect, you see, like I have today, I'm wearing brand. This says NAFULA Connect hosting DV lottery winners in the US. Like we are out, like we are hosting, but we are helping. So when you come here, like I say again, I'm not bembelezaring anybody. I'm not like, oh, please come, oh, please pay. Us, we don't do that. And in fact, here, sometimes if you come, our policy, we have policies here. So if you don't have, you tell me you don't have anybody in the United States, and then you want me to host you, and then you say you're going to come to the US, maybe today's the 30th. So you say you're coming to the US on the 30th, right? So I know I'm going to host you. You told me you don't have anybody in the US, right? So I'm expecting you to arrive on the 30th. You arrive on the 30th and you decide to go to a different state. Maybe you have, I don't know who there. You go to visit somebody or whatever. You stay there for a week. I'm not hosting you anymore. Why? Because you know somebody in the United States. You lied to me. That's how the program works. So I'm not going to host you. You know people who can host you for a week, and then somebody who's in Kenya, or maybe somebody in Ghana, somebody in Uganda, they actually don't have anybody. Somebody like Haruna did not have anybody to host him. Somebody like Geoffrey did not have anybody. Rumbi from Zimbabwe did not have any hosts. So when they flew from their country, they came directly here because they did not know anybody. So that's how our program is, to help only the people who don't have anybody in the United States. But you step here, you go somewhere else, those people can help you. They can help you over there. So as much as I know people are like, oh, we anafanya biashara, we anafanya, like whether it's business or not, it doesn't matter. At that point, we are just helping people who do not have hosts in the United States, because we believe in our program. And I can tell you right now, you can be hosted wherever you can be hosted. But whatever we do for you for free here, even some of your family members cannot. Ask some people who have come as DV lottery winners. They stay with their families for 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, no jobs. Or they just find you a job at a grocery store and that's it. And they don't help you with anything. They tell you just apply for jobs. They just delay you so that you can babysit their kids, or you can do other stuff for other, you know. So we do things to help you. We want a lot of DV lottery winners to succeed so that they can help other people. That's how my sponsors know. They know my sponsors are like, you know what, NAFULA is hosting these people to improve their lives, to change their lives, to become successful. So we are not coming here because like, okay, it's business. I'm going to come and then go to somewhere, because people have come. It's not the people I was going to host. They came, they went somewhere else. And then I told them like, you know what, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm not able to host you anymore. Because at least I know you have connections. You won't be homeless. Because if somebody anakutembelea beshte yako for like 2 weeks, then you have a place to go. Then you don't need me. Let me help you. Let me help some people who don't have hosting. Because I know people are taking advantage. People in these countries, they just see me, they see what we are doing for people, they want to take advantage, not remembering like there's somebody who actually does not have anybody in the US. And I know for right now, we are not doing abductive support. Abductive support we're not providing at this time just because I don't have sponsors. But then it doesn't mean like I'm not working on it. I'm behind the scenes. I'm trying to get people. I'm trying to get, see how we can help to get more sponsors and stuff like that, get other people involved. I'm working on that behind the scenes. So once I get more sponsors, then the people probably, if they reached out to me, they went to the embassy, they didn't get the visa because they need a sponsor or stuff like that. Then we can help those people out. I don't have a problem of helping my African people out. As much as I know, like some people, you just help them, but then they just go crazy at the same time. But regardless of how people behave, I don't treat somebody else just based on how somebody else from the same country did. Because you can help one person, they don't even say thank you. And then you help somebody else, and then they help another DV lottery winner. So usually I don't like whatever somebody, however they behave, I'll still hold somebody else. Okay, so that let me talk about the DS260, and then we'll take questions. I see there's people still request on my TikTok. We can take a few questions, and then I can see the questions that have been typed here and see if we can answer those. So for the DS260, if you go online on Google, let me share again. So after you win, you're asking yourself, I'm going to win, and then what, right? So the letter I showed you, you're so excited, you're crying, you're praying and all that, thanking God and all that. So what do you need to do next? So find your host. After you find your host, you can just go on Google. Like I said, Google is the answer for everything. Literally, you can type everything on Google. So you see here, it says DS260. That's all I typed, DS260. And then the first one that comes, it's a DS260 immigrant visa electronic application. So when you click on that, let me see if it's showing on your side. Yep. So when you click on that, then it has a lot of information about DS260. That's why I'm saying, like, if you want me to pay me to complete, because like on my website, to complete DS160 is $150. Let me tell you, if you read this stuff, you don't need me. You don't need to pay $150 to me. You can actually do all this. Because I'm taking my time to help you. Because even if I help you, all the information that I'm going to put in there, you're going to provide that information. So usually, like I tell people, first try doing it. But if you feel like, you don't want to do it, some people, they're like, they don't have faith in whatever they do. They'll pay me to do it, and I won't say no. But then, like, if you go to this website here, all the answers are literally there. It asks you, like you see here, what do I need to complete and submit the DS260 online? You click on it, it tells you everything. Where can you find it? It's right here. Can I answer in my native language? No, but then like it's right here. You see, is it mandatory? Like all the questions are right here. So when you go here, where can I find the DS260 and click on that, then it brings you to the DS260. So this is the DS260 if you're looking on my YouTube. So that's the DS260. So with the DS260, one thing you realize when you land on this page, the first thing it asks you is your case number. The case number. So the case number is right here. Let me see if I can share it again. Oh, I can't share two, I guess. Well, yeah, I can't share two of them. But then let me share the other one so you can see. So the case number is this one. That's where you'll get it. You see this number right here? 2012 AF or 2012 AS if you're from Asia. 2012, no, that would be 2025 then. So it'd be 2025 AF, 2025 AS, 2025 OC, 2025, whatever region you applied. So that's your case number down here. So this is what you need to get into your DS260. So for example, if you did not win the green card lottery, you're not going to have the case number, right? So let's go back to the DS260. Where is it? Maybe that, yeah. So you go here. So once you have that case number, you will, now I lost it. Okay. Yeah. So you just click, I have read the terms of the Privacy Act, whatever. Nobody reads that stuff. I don't either. I don't even know what it says. But then you just click here and then you have your case number there. So you put your case number there. And then if you click continue, is going to bring you to another page where you have to enter your birthday, I think your confirmation number and all that. But because I already completed DS260 for people, I don't have any to get. I don't want to get into anybody's DS260 because usually it's private. Like I try to make sure, like, you know, I don't access your information when I don't have to. That's why I haven't done my video about like DS260, because to do that, I have to literally be in somebody's DS260 to show you how to do it. And I don't want to share their information. So that's how you get your DS260. You see how easy it is? So you find out you win, find the letter, get your case number, Google DS260, put that case number in that box, agree to the terms. It's going to bring you to another page where you put, I think, your name, your case number, your confirmation number, your birthday, and then it brings you to the actual DS260. Let me see if I can Google DS260 PDF and share with you. Okay, let's see if I can find one. I don't know if this is a good one. I don't know. It's not opening. Well, just give it a few minutes. But anyhow, while we're still waiting for that, yeah, so I opened it up. Let me share. No. Okay. So I don't know if you are able to see that if you're on my YouTube. Can you see the DS260? Just tell me if you see. Somebody type in and see if you can see something that says sample, because I don't want to be talking and then you guys can't see. Are you able to see? Anybody can type a comment here. Tell me if you can see the sample. All right, they're asking about hosting. Anyhow, all right. Okay, yeah, somebody said they can see it. Okay, so that's the DS260. So after you enter your case number, the page I just showed you, it will bring you to another page. You put your confirmation number, case number, your birthday, and I think your name, and then it brings you to this page. So when the DS260 opens, this I just pulled it off online, but then it looks like this. So this is where you get in, right? And then once you get in, you have to enter your case number right here. Like you see the first one here. So you enter your case number here, and then you enter. So this, I am the principal applicant. So you'll be, you know, a principal applicant. And then you enter this information down here, and then it will bring you here. So you see like this one. So here it's like either you are the applicant, which most of you will be because you're the principal applicant, or if you are like an attorney. So that's like, you know, if you got a lawyer to help you to do whatever, and they're getting in on your behalf, or the petitioner. So the petitioner, usually this DS260 is also used for other immigrant visa. Like if people are bringing families here, they're bringing whatever here, they can still use the form, so you can do petitioner and stuff like that. And then after that, it brings you to this where you can answer the questions. First, it tells you all the information. So for example, here, so it asks you about the personal information. DS260 is all about you. They won't ask you something that you don't know. It's not questions about America or whatever. Everything is either whatever you filled in your application or what's going on with your life. So here you see it asks you like, what is your surname? That's your last name, family name. And here, there's also help. It tells you the instructions, like what is the surname and what you need to put there, given name. And then are you female or male, you know? And then your birthday, city of birth, province, region, all that. And then after that, and you can go Google also online so you can look at it. You just go and type DS260 PDF, and then it will bring it in. And then also passport information. So you see, this is also another important thing. So you see here, it says passport information. Some people don't have your passport, like you don't have passports, right? So here, first it will tell you like, well, what is your nationality? So if you're Kenyan, you just put Kenyan there, or whatever country you are from. And then your passport type, document type. So if you do not have a passport, you see the passport is highlighted. You click on this thing, the down arrow, and just select other documents, the document ID. You don't have a passport. So select something else. And then that way, this, you know, the passport and whatever will go away and you don't have to complete that. So that's how you can complete this DS260 without having a passport. So And then got that. After that, it will ask you about still personal information. You see, like this person here, this is what I was talking about. This person did not have a passport. So if you don't have a passport, that arrow up there that said passport, here, when you go the down arrow, you select other travel document. And you see what happened here? All of that went away. So let me go up again to just give you an idea what I'm talking about. So you see here, it says passport. So if you have a passport, you enter the passport information here, when it was issued, expiry date, and all that. But if you click this arrow down here and you select other travel document, all the other questions go away. So you don't have to answer those. So once you get your passport, you can request for this DS260 to be unlocked, and you can enter that passport information once you have it. If you don't have it until your interview is scheduled, you just show up with your passport at the embassy. No problem at all. Because sometimes once your case is processed and once it's in the queue, so which means like, cases is done with it, and then it goes all the way to the interview, and then now is the interview location to like schedule, they're not able to unlock it for you because they're done with it. It's in the queue, so you cannot like unlock your DS260. So you'll have to just take your passport to the embassy, or you have to contact your embassy to see how you can add it. But other than that, you just select other travel documents. So whoever, if you had somebody tell you that you cannot complete the DS260 without a passport, they are lying to you, because you can. You just select other travel documents. If you're from Kenya, remember that, because a lot of Kenyan people right now, they have an issue with like getting passports. You're not going to get a passport on time. So make sure you select other travel documents. And then there's other questions here. So after you answer your personal information, it's going to ask you about your present address. So present and previous address, they want to know like, okay, a history of where you've lived, Did you live here? So they want a previous, a history of where you've lived. So you start with your present address. You see, there's where it says present address. This address is important because they can schedule you at an embassy based off of this present address. So some people who want to change, like, maybe an embassy, they want to go to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and then they were like in Kenya, and maybe they got a job in Abu Dhabi. What they just need to do, you unlock this DS260 and you update your present address. If you update your present address, when they process it, they know like, okay, this person moved to this address. But then as much as you updated it, you have to contact them, write them, and then say like, what, I changed KCC, and say like, what, I moved here. And I just want to see like, if my address has been updated and stuff like that. So you can email them too as well. But then the quickest way also is to unlock your DS260 and update your present address. So they will ask you about your address. And then I'm going to show you where they ask about your hosts. So, and then here also they ask you about social media. Like you see the social media, I'm going to talk about that too. So with the social media, a lot of people just type stuff on social media. On TikTok, you just post any videos. Or maybe you find like somebody who's talking about like, being a terrorist, somebody who's talking about being mad and trying to burn the state house, somebody who's trying to like not being a nice person generally in society. So don't post stuff like that on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on whatever. Because if you post something like, you dislike the president of the United States, you talk about like, they talk about, some people are in Africa, but they're so involved in American politics. They don't like that, especially if you're saying negative stuff about them. Maybe right now they're, what is Iraq and whatever, Israel, they're having this conflict going on. You're in Africa, you can't do anything, you can't contribute anything to it, but you have everything to say about that war, And then you're saying stuff that over there it's okay, but then over here to an American person, it sounds a certain way. So they ask you for a social media because they know you can get denied a visa because of what you put on social media. And if you have social media, don't lie. Because like I said, facial recognition is a real thing. If I post my picture sometimes on Facebook, it will ask me, like if I have a couple of friends, it will ask me, do you want to tag this person? And then they want to tag their account. How do you know that? How did the Facebook figure out like this person belongs to this account? It's because of the facial recognition. So even if sometimes you don't put your social media there, they'll find out. So just make sure, with the America, just tell the truth. If you lie, like something small like this, they'll be like, okay, maybe you are hiding something about your social media, and then you get denied a visa based on that. So just make sure, like, all your social media, you list them here, and then you go to the mailing address, put all the mailing address and all that. And then let's see. After that, they ask you about your family, like if you have kids and stuff like that. So that is a long form. Like if I go over this thing, that's why I charge to complete this for somebody, because you see how long this form is. So that, and then let me see, and then information about your parents too. They'll ask you information about your parents. And like again, I said, like if you don't have information about your parents, some people don't know who their father is. Some people are orphans. They don't have the mother. They don't know the mother's name or whatever. Here it gives you a thing of saying, do not know. Surname of your father, I do not know. Mother, I don't know. And it's okay. Like, you are orphan, you don't, and maybe you grew up in the streets, you don't know who your parents were. So you have a choice of saying you do not know. You won't go there and then you get penalized because you don't know who your parents are. So for your parents, if you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you know. If you only know the one parent, just put the one parent, and then the other one, you can just say you do not know, and it's okay. So you ask questions about your family, and then after that, they ask you about, let's see what else is on here. Your spouse, like if you're married, then the information should be here. So if in the DS260, if you applied for the green card lottery and you selected you're married and you put that information, when you come to the DS260, your spouse will already be there because you added them. So you just need to complete the information. You only need to add if maybe you married after you applied, and then now you need to add the information there. So that's that. So with your spouse, and then let's go down and see what else. If you're married before, your previous spouse, you can put in here, because US usually likes to dig your life to know, like, okay, who are you married before? They're into other people's business way too much, right? And then with your kids, again, put all your kids here, the ones who you applied with, and then the ones who you gave birth to after you applied, you can add. But if you did not add any wife or any kids that existed before you apply, don't try to add them on this thing. This will get your visa denied. So just be sure, like if you lie, my friend, lie all the way to the end. I'm not saying lie all the way to the end, but do whatever you need to do to get here, right? And then so with your previous travel document or travel information, there's somebody that I was, dealing with that, they try to lie. So I had to make them like, try to unlock and tell the truth, right? So if you've been in the US, you've had a US visa, or you've been refused a visa, you have to tell the truth, especially if it's in the US. Don't you think like they have these records? Or you think they're just sitting there like, oh, maybe you traveled to the US 10 years ago, and now you have a new passport which does not have the visa. So this guy thought like, if I go with this new passport that does not have the US visa that I had before, they will not know, because it was like over 15 years ago. Who tells you that US has records from 1900? What do you mean? So make sure like all this information, if they ask you, especially if they ask if you've traveled to the US or you either applied for immigrant visa and an immigrant visa, you are refused, answer correctly. Just tell the truth. That's all you need to do. It doesn't affect how you're going to get a visa or not. If you are here, you went back, as long as you're not banned from this country, you'll still get your visa. So you answer all that information in there. And then your work, it will ask you about your work and experience. If you don't have any, just say no. The minimum requirement is high school. So if you have high school, literally you don't need to put anything in your work experience if you don't have any. But if you do not have high school, then you'll need to enter stuff in your about your work, because they need work experience. You have to make sure if your work experience qualifies, and you can get letters from your employer saying, this person has been employed from here, this year to this year. This is what they're doing. You can say even how the training took place, whatever, because they need 2 years at least of training. Also, like, they get paid. This is how much. You can get a letter like that from your employer. And usually you can prove work experience with that. But not all work experiences are acceptable. So just make sure like whatever you pick or whatever you choose to go by, it meets whatever is acceptable to use. So work experience, and then after that you go to what else? Yeah, so pretty much like it asks you about your education. I don't want to go through all this and where you train, school. So it's a long form. Anyhow, I think now you got the idea, because if I talk about the DS260, it's gonna take me all day. So that's pretty much the DS260. It's gonna ask you information just about you, like you've seen. All the information on the DS260 is about you or anybody that you added, your life, your spouse, your kids. Where did you go to school? Where are you working? So all the answers on the DS260, you have the answers to them. The only people who fail the interview because of the DS260 are the people who lied on the application. Those are the people who, somebody's asking about like the host. Did I skip that part? Hold on, let me see. Where was it? Was it up here? Hold on. Let me see. I have to go. Where is it? This PDF is so long that I don't know. Hold on. Anyhow, when I come next time, I'll because I just pulled it up online, I haven't looked at it. So I'm gonna look at it, and then next time when I come, I'm gonna show you how to complete your host information on the DS260. How? Because the way the addresses here are, like where you put the name, because there's a street address, there's a city, there's a state, and then there's a zip code. So which in Africa, a lot of people places, they don't have zip codes, or they don't use the zip codes as much. But here they have zip codes in addresses, residential areas. In Africa, they just go to the post office. The mail don't come to their houses. So on Saturday, I'm gonna be live all day. So we'll have all the time to go over how to put your host address on the DS260. And then like you've seen, like all the DS260, the form itself, it doesn't let you like upload anything. Your passport, you have to type it in. Everything is typed in. So don't worry about like having a photo, having like your marriage certificate, your school certificate and all that. You are not required to upload anything on your DS260. Everything you type in. All other stuff, you just show up with them at the embassy after you receive your 2NL. So that's that. Let me get some few questions from YouTube, because last time YouTubers were complaining that I was only getting questions from let me see. Let me see good questions here from somebody's asking. I have a question I want to ask, and then they do not ask the question. So somebody's asking, can you connect me with somebody who can host a family of 4? Like I said, my friend in Iowa hosts families. So you pay for an apartment, and then you can just rent an apartment, and then you, depending on if you want her to help you or if you don't want her to help you, if you just need an apartment, you just pay for it. If you need her services to help, then you have to talk and see how much she'll charge you to help you find other stuff. So that's that. And then let's see. Somebody's like, oh, I'm from Ghana. Can you host me after I win? I get all these questions. Can you host me? Please host me. Please host me. This is what I do. Don't you see it says here, hosting DV lottery winners in America? It means I can host you. So all you need after you win, you apply for hosting. I can host every one of you. Male, female, old, young, only kids I don't host. I don't host any kids. 0 kids. Any school-going kids. So if your kid has graduated high school, I'll host them. If they've not, I will not host them. I don't host any kids. The people I host are the people who can get jobs. So if you graduated high school, I can find you a job. So you help your mother, and then you guys can be stable and move out. If I get you with your little kid, how long are you going to be stable before you move out? I'm going to be stuck with you forever. And then now I can't help somebody else. So that's why, like, I don't host kids. But for adults, I can host anybody from all the countries. You don't have to be from Africa. You can be, like I said, I'm almost hosting somebody from Fiji, from all these countries. The other one, I don't know what, even Asia, I think. Philippines over there. So I host anybody as long as you speak English or you speak Swahili. If you don't speak English, because I'm hosting people from Tanzania, some of them, they don't speak English. So, but they speak Swahili. I can't host somebody who does not speak English and does not speak Swahili. Because how am I going to communicate with you? I want to get you a job. I want to tell you do this, do that. How am I going to communicate with you when we don't speak the same language? So at least you have to speak English or speak Swahili. I don't speak French, so I don't even know French. So with French, I have somebody, at least here I know there's French translators and whatever, which is going to be a pain as well to get them to have to tell you, okay, I need, like, if I need you, maybe I found somebody who needs somebody to work. I just call you and I'm like, hey, are you available to work? You're going for an interview on Monday. I don't have to find a translator to tell you that, you know? So that's why I host everybody, as long as you speak either English or you speak Swahili, then we're good. All right, let's see. Let me see another question here. So somebody here, senior high school certificate, my date of birth has changed, whatever. But what they're trying to say is like they're being inconsistent. And this is what the embassy don't like. So somebody was telling me the birth certificate has a different birthday and the passport has a different birthday. They're asking me, how can you help me? How am I going to help you? When you're confusing your birth certificates, your birth dates, I was not there. Now you have different birth dates. You're like, Nafula, how can you help me? How am I supposed to help you? I'm not even in your own country. This is a problem that you created that you have to fix yourself. So either go to a lawyer or whatever, and you get something that's called a sworn affidavit for the name or for whatever, and then fix everything. So they say you went by all these people with all these birthdays, but then you are one and the same person. And maybe take that document to the embassy because you have conflicting birthday and your passport. Some countries are very corrupt that you can fix either your passport or fix your birth certificate. If you can do that, that's the easiest way to do it. But if you can't, then you're stuck. But then make sure if you go to the embassy, all those dates, that's how they get you. Especially your passport and birth certificate. They need to match name, date of birth, and everything. You know, Africa, usually sometimes you get stuff, and, you know, I did it too. Like with my passport, I had to, you know, pay somebody to process it in like 1 week because I had to fly out, you see? So sometimes when you pay somebody to help you, that is corruption, but then they mess up with your birthday or with your name or with your stuff. So just make sure, like, you know what? If you can fix that, fix it before you immediately realize you've won. Try to figure out how you can fix this mess, because embassies don't like inconsistencies. They'll see something and then they're like, oh, why is this different than this? And then they get hung up on that. Now they don't want to ask you any other question. They just want to know, how is these 2 dates different? And they're like, okay, we'll investigate. You know, you don't want to be in a position like that. So make sure everything matches. You're consistent. Inconsistencies is one of the reasons why people get denied a visa. Okay, let's go. Let's see another questions. And then somebody's like, if your documents have 3 names, but my passport has 2 names, same thing. If you think it's going to be a problem, get a sworn affidavit for the name. Then that fixes everything. All right. Somebody's asking, what if an interviewer asks you if your interview, at the interview, when you're coming back to your country, how do I go about it? The thing about the DV lottery visa is not like any non-immigrant visa. Just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Because they ask you, when are you going back to your country? What are you going to answer? When do you want to go back to your country? Maybe you want to say, okay, I'm going to go to the US maybe for a year, and then I'll be visiting every year, or whenever I get, like, you know, I'm financially stable, I can visit my people. What's wrong with saying that? No, when you go to the embassy, don't feel like you have a need of hiding, like what you're saying is wrong. It's not. You can even say, I'll just show up in America, and then maybe next month I can come and maybe sell my property. I still have my property here. I just want to process my visa, go to America. When I'm stable, I'll come back because I have to sell my stuff. That's okay. Just tell them the truth when you want to go back. All right, let's see. A lot of things is about names and whatever inconsistencies. I already explained how to fix that. And then somebody is asking about the DS260. Am I only giving the host address first and the sponsor details come later in the 2NL? And you're correct. So in the DS260, you only need the name of your host and the address. Sometimes you don't even need the name. Sometimes you can just, like, you know, just put the address there. So That's about the DS260. The 2NL, when they send you the 2NL, then you will know if you need a sponsor or not, because not all embassy require the sponsor documents. So if they say you need it, then you need to find it before you go to the embassy with it. If they tell you they don't ask for sponsor documents, don't go with the sponsor documents. Or if you don't, even if you find the sponsor documents, don't give it to them. Why am I saying that? Because sometimes, people provide a lot of information. So somebody will go with the sponsor documents. They didn't ask you for them, but then you decide, you know what, I just want to be overboard, people who are overachievers. So they take the sponsor documents, and then because whatever you give them, they have to review. So they look at the sponsor documents, and then they realize, this sponsor is not able, or maybe the income, it doesn't meet the income guidelines to sponsor you. Now that's an issue. You've just created a problem yourself, that you should have just kept the sponsor document. If you get a sponsor document, your 2NL does not ask for it, just put it in your folder. If they ask you, okay, do you have sponsor documents? Then you provide the sponsor documents. If they don't ask for them, don't bother. Don't bother. Just give them whatever they ask. All right, so that's that. Let's see another one. So somebody is asking, what if my host and the sponsor are different? Yeah, I have a lot of people who like in my case, because I help people find sponsors. So usually when you fill your DS260, you'll put the address of the host where you'll go to. It doesn't necessarily mean when you go to the embassy, that's the person who's going to host you. You're going to change at the embassy. So usually for the most people, I advise them to say the sponsor and then the host is the same person. Like if somebody gives you sponsor documents, as much as you know, they will not host you. When you go to the embassy, just say that sponsor is your host. Simple. Because that way you don't open a can of worms, You don't say, okay, now your sponsor is different or whatever. So once you say like this sponsor and your host is the same person, once you get a visa, you just fly to your host, who's going to host you. They won't have a problem. When you get to the port of entry, you're like, my sponsor or my host just said something came up. They can't host me. Now this one is going to host me. US just want to make sure like you have a place to stay when you get here. They don't care who hosts you, as long as you have a place when you get here. So I encourage, like if you have a sponsor document, just say your sponsor will host you at the interview. So it saves a lot of trouble, a lot of multiple questions. Everything stays consistent. So that way you don't have to answer questions about whatever. You just say, I'm here and I'm going to update my address. That's it. All right. So let's go to the next one. Let's see. Let me see a good question here. Thanks, guys, for watching. I see people are watching from everywhere. Thanks. I appreciate that. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, so somebody's asking me, like, who qualifies as a sponsor? Can somebody who came here, maybe they were on legal status, they were visitors, and then now they're illegal. If they're illegal in the US, don't even try. Why? You'll be putting yourself in a position where they'll find out this person is illegal. And also, you might, some people are illegal here, but then the government just don't care about them. But then if you bring it up at the embassy, it's like you're reporting this person who's illegal in the US. So you're going to go to the embassy, and then they're like, oh, I forgot Precious Command is illegal in the US, right? Now they start looking for you. So sometimes if somebody is here, ako chini ya maji, we say chini ya maji, wacha akae chini ya maji. Don't bring her stuff or his stuff up. Or if you're here and you're illegal, my friend, just keep quiet and stay wherever you are. Don't start like, okay, I'm going to host somebody. They're like, how are you affording that house? Because if you're illegal, you're not able to work in the US. So they will ask you, how are you hosting this person? Who's paying that rent? Stuff like that comes up. So make sure somebody who's going to host you, they have to be legal in the United States. All right, let's see. Somebody's asking, what if I'm 50 years old? Can I get a host family? Sure. Even if you're 70, like age is just a number. Who cares? So there's some 50-year-olds who are working harder than 20-year-olds. Some 20-year-olds are very lazy, and you get somebody who's older, has the education and whatever, gets a job quicker than somebody who's younger. So age here, in America, they don't care about age. Africa, they get hung up on age. Somebody needs to retire. This, I work with somebody at my office who's like way, I think in the 70s, and they are still working, very smart, making money. So age is not it's just a number. So if you're 70, you win the green card lottery, you want a host, I'll still host you. So let's see. So somebody is asking, like, if somebody won the green card lottery a long time ago, can they apply for a visa 3 years later? No. If you win the green card lottery, like somebody who won in 2024, DV 2024, if by September you don't have your visa, your winning is gone. You can't use it anymore. So it just goes by after September, your story measure. So if you won in 2023, going backwards, that's gone. Unless some people who are like, trying to fight DV 2020, with the petitioning and stuff, which I doubt they will approve, because like if you approve those people, then what happens to the people who are already here? Are you going to compensate them because they didn't use it at that time? They made it here in a certain way. What these people can sue, they're like, okay, why did you approve these people? Because as much as you'll be like, okay, 2020 needs to get the visa, go to the embassy, it's going to raise a lot of legal issues. I don't know. Because if I was DV 2020 and I didn't manage to come here, and then maybe I came as a student, and then now those people are processing their visa, I'll have a problem with it. I'll be like, you know what? I used my money. I need to be compensated for that as well. So I don't know if it's gonna go through. If it goes through as well, but I know it's gonna be a lot of legal issues. And with COVID, everything with COVID went haywire. Like, look at even the banks, like even getting loans. Everything was like crazy in 2020. So if you're gonna sue, you have to sue all these things that went wrong in 2020. It was COVID year. Nobody anticipated for anything that happened. So it was not the government's fault. But anyhow, good luck with that. So somebody is asking about work experience. Work experience, you have to go to the website, just make sure it qualifies and stuff like that. I don't want to go into detail with that. Let's see. Certificate for work experience, you can get a letter from your employer. I had somebody that I helped who used a letter from the employer. It's just, the letter was very detailed because they had the name, they had like how long they were in that company, what the position was in the company, what the training, what the pay was at the company, and it has a legal seal and whatever logo for the company, and they were approved a visa for that. So at least that's the part I know. So with the other stuff, like how to prove, I don't know. But then the people I help usually is, I tell them, get a letter from your employer, which is, it's easy. So somebody said, I think they failed high school, but then they have a diploma in business administration. Usually they have, so with the DV lottery, they have, you have to qualify under high school. And then high school has a minimum grade. Like in Kenya, you need a D-. So if you got an E, then you fail, you can't qualify under education. So you need work experience. So with the diploma in business administration, how long was the training? Have you worked? Do you have work experience in that diploma? So you have to prove stuff like that. It has to be like something that requires, 2 years of training, like somebody who's a nurse in their country probably took 2 years of training. I had some people, they don't have Form 6, but then they have Form 4, but then especially Uganda, they have Form 4, but then they went to nursing school and they graduated and they are working as a nurse. Working as a nurse, that qualifies as work experience because you had 2 years worth of training, and you have 2 years nursing experience. So you should be able to use that. All right. And then I don't have any WhatsApp groups. I only have WhatsApp groups of people I'm hosting. So if I say that I'm going to host you, then usually I put in a WhatsApp group for that country, for that city. For that city. So if I'm going to host in New York, you have like different groups because I put like 10 people in a room, in a listing or in a place. So I'll put 10 people in New York in that WhatsApp group, and then 10 people in New York in WhatsApp B, WhatsApp C. I don't put a lot of people in the WhatsApp group because it gets like too complicated with everybody texting. So I try to see like the same location, I put the same people there. I put 10 people, but then not all 10 people will come because some people find other hosts. Some people visa get denied. Some people decide not to proceed. Some people, maybe their numbers will never come up. So I put 10 people maximum maximum like 12. I think a group I've done is 12. So like I have hosts in different states. Like if I have Florida, for example, I don't do that. That's like exception. So I have one person in Florida, maybe they reach out to me, they're like, I can host 4 people. Then I create a WhatsApp group for Florida, and then I put 10 people in there. So that's how I don't have a group for everybody. So this year, I don't know if it's good to do a WhatsApp group or to do a Facebook group. I have to see what works to come up with a group where like all the DV lottery winners can be in the same group, and then you can share information. But usually like with the 10 people, they help each other. I've not had any issues, the people I'm hosting. And if they have an issue, usually those groups I'm too busy, I just create them, but I'm not part of them. So they help each other. But then if maybe there's wrong information being given or whatever, then I correct that. Or if somebody needs a one-on-one help, then I can try to help them with that. But I don't get hung up in those groups. All right, let's see. And then here, like when you get here, work, I'll help you find a job. I'll help you find everything else you need to get started. For me, for my hosting. My hosting, again, is for people who don't have hosts. This is not like I'm trying to market my business or whatever. It's for people who do not have hosts. Like I say, if I'm hosting you, you come, you go to a different state for like a couple of days, then I'm not hosting you anymore because you know somebody in the US who can help you. So this is for people who really, really, really need hosting. That's how we go out of our way to make sure like they live a very decent life. Like literally people who live at my hosting, you'll think they live in their houses. They just like, they live like families, not like your hosting is not renters, they're not strangers. They live, there's that togetherness. So our hosting is not, we don't put like 5 people, like 10 people in a room. We don't do like you live in a shelter. We don't live like that because like if you're in your home country, you wouldn't want to live like that. Somebody who win the green card lottery, maybe they were over in Africa, they had a whole house. They built their own houses, or maybe they had a whole apartment, 3-bedroom apartment. You come and bring somebody and put them in like 6 people, 6 adults in a room. Like, what are you thinking? 6 adults in a room. Anakiuka hivi, they turn, somebody's snoring, anangorota huku, somebody's ngorotaring here. You don't even have privacy to take your clothes off. Like, we're not doing shelter. This is not a shelter. So the maximum people we put in a room is 2 people. Same gender. We don't even put male and female. Same gender in the same room. Maximum 2 people. We don't do more than 2 people. And the 2 people, we were not even doing two people. We just started doing 2 people because there's so much demand. There's so many people who literally do not have hosts. I have somebody who goes to them, they call, they cry. They're like, you know what? If you don't give me hosting, literally this visa is gone. Like, I don't know anybody in the US. So those are the people that we want. We don't want people who have anywhere to go, because then they come, they start being headache. We want people who actually need our hosting, who will benefit from our hosting. You know, so that's that. So somebody's asking how much per month. Go to nafulaconnect.com. I have my website like on all my videos. nafulaconnect.com has all the answers like for the questions about hosting. If you want to know the people who I'm currently hosting in, I can pull that up. Let me see. Let me go to nafulaconnect.com. All right. I'm going to share the page. All right, share screen. All right. So that is the screen. So that's my website. If you go to nafulaconnect.com, it lands you to this page here. It has so many things. When you get here, it already tells you Nafula, welcome to Nafula Connect. Like I said a while ago, like I'm obsessed with pink. So this website is all pink. As much as, you know, my manager is like, we need to be professional. If you add one more pink, I'm taking all this thing. Yeah, everything is going to be pink. I love pink. So pink and black, it blends good. So I'm not complaining. But anyhow, so this is the website. You go to nafulaconnect.com. And then, like, if you go down even a touch, it says apply for hosting. So if you click this page here, it brings you right to the page where you're supposed to apply for hosting. So when you say apply for hosting, you click, you see the people that I'm hosting. Like if you're on YouTube right now, you can see. So that's Rumbi right now. So Rumbi came, I think, October last year. This is Geoffrey, came like in September from Uganda. And then we have other people too that we are hosting. We have, that's Juma. Those are from Tanzania and Queen. We have, you've seen Haruna. So it has like videos of people that we are actually hosting. These are not paid actors. That's Michael. So for hosting, you just go to this page down here, and then it says DV Lottery winner sign up. So this is how you apply for hosting. You have to have won the green card lottery, because I'll need your confirmation number and your case number. So when you see here, you see this the box here, it says DV lottery confirmation number and DV lottery case number and your date of birth and your name. That's the most important thing on this form. If you do not provide that, don't even bother waiting, because I'm not going to reach back to you. Because other people who come on other visas, they don't have the confirmation number and the case number. So the only way I'm going to know you have a confirmation number and the case number, that's the only proof that you won the green card lottery. So if you do not provide, like, how do you want me to help you? Yeah, so that's that. So you apply, you just complete this form, that's it. So if you win May 4th, I know my website is going to crash on May 4th, but it's not going to crash. It's on a very good server. So just go there. Immediately you win, come here, and then you apply. Because the way I get those applications, they are listed in numbers. So if you apply tomorrow and somebody applies today, they will be on top of you. So that's how I know who applied first. So when I go, I just apply whoever first come, first serve, depending on the case number, but they first come, first serve. So if you have 2 people with 4,000 case number, whoever applied first is the one who's going to get in. So that's how our hosting is. So if you want to know how much we charge for hosting, we just go to the paid services here. If you click on the paid services, then you get like how much we charge for the address, for the DS260, and then for hosting. So this hosting is the premium package. That's the $650. This one, you do not have to pay right away unless your case number is low. If your case number is low, then you need to pay, because if somebody gets pays and they get the room, then you don't have a room. So because it's first come, first served basis. And then if you want to see the people we are hosting, like I said, again, you go to DV Lottery winners. Like here, it says DV Lottery winners in New York, and then you can just see them here. See Rumbi, Aliyah, and then I listed them if it's DV 2023 or DV 2024. Like Michael is a DV 2024, Haruna is a DV 2024. So if you want to see the people we are hosting as well, you just come over there and then you can check out the people we are hosting. So the website has everything, price, everything is transparent. Like I said, here, there's no hiding. There's no hiding at all. And I've not had any issues. I've not. And all the payment usually is done through the website. Like, oh, this is our logo right here. This is just before I was using my name, and then I was like, yeah, it was all pink again. They don't like my pink, but I love pink, so it will stay. So NAFULA Connect. So this is the logo, and then so the website is the same thing. All the payments are made through the website. We don't have M-Pesa. We don't have any other payment plan, unless like you contact me, and then after the Zoom meeting, we realize like maybe you can pay a certain way because there's no access to cards or whatever. Then we can do that after I speak to you. Otherwise, right now, don't send anybody money on YouTube, on TikTok, on WhatsApp, on whatever. Don't send anybody money, because that's not how we get our money. Our money is through the website. Why? Because through the website, there's accountability. So if you come tomorrow and then you're like, oh, NAFULA, I lost my money. I did this. Then I'll be like, you know what? Okay, so when did you pay? And then you tell me the date or whatever, because when you pay on your end, I have receipt. It generates a receipt for me and for you. So my email has the receipt and your email has the receipt. And when I go to the website, it tells me this name paid this from this country. So that's why you haven't seen like people from creating videos. Actually, because now, as much as I'm doing hosting, there's some people are happy that I'm helping people, but then there's a certain number of people, you always have like people who are not happy, like if you're doing well. So people like that can take advantage and, pay people, hire people to start tarnishing the name or saying like they're stealing from people. But then me, you can't do that because all my payments are documented. So if you paid, it's going to be on the website. Even if the government investigates the website or whatever, gets a warrant to investigate or check anything, all the payments will be on the website. So that's what we want. So that we don't have people like just creating videos or whatever. They're like, oh, NAFULA did that, NAFULA did that, NAFULA did that. If somebody's in the US, if they start, tarnishing the name and it's not true, that would be very good for us, because you know what, I'll sue them so I get money, That's another good way of getting money. If they tarnish your name and then it's wrong, you have to hold them accountable. Like if somebody says you're stealing money from people and they don't have proof, they sue you or whatever, you can sue them, because now they're tarnishing your name, defamation, and you say like it's affecting my business, and depending on how much your business is, they'll have to pay or sell their property or something like that. That's the good thing about America. Like you just don't wake up and start saying she did this, she did that, especially if it's a business, because sometimes people can come back after you. So that's why we do the things. People are like, why do you do it that way? Why do we have to pay you through the website? Why do you have to, I have to talk to you on Zoom before I see you? Like I do, everything is transparent. I do a Zoom meeting with you, I'm recording everything, everything is recorded. And I tell people, I know you might want privacy. I'm like, look at it. All of you, how did you find out about my hosting? It's because on my YouTube videos, you've seen Rumbi do an interview, you've seen Haruna, that's why you want me to host you, because this hosting is real. How did you find out it's real? It's because you saw the people we are hosting, right? Testify that actually we are hosting. So if you want privacy, find another host, because over here I'll be like, okay, hey guys, and I have my phone over there, I'm taking a video. So if you want privacy, usually I respect their privacy, but when you get here, I'm doing all these things for free. You only pay for hosting, but then finding like a job and everything, I'm doing them for free. In return, you have to tell people how you made it to America. How did you process your visa? How did you do that? How did you do this? So that you can help somebody else from your country come here. So that's the only payment you're doing. You're sharing information. The way I'm over here making noise for hours just to tell people about green card lottery, green card. I used to help 3 people in my village apply for the green card and stuff like that, the people who made it here. And I'm like, you know what, I can do it. Like if I do it on YouTube, then everybody's going to benefit. And a lot of people have benefited from it, which that's what we want. So the people who are on my guest, I think they got tired. So anybody who wants to send me a question, you can send me a guest request on my TikTok. So that's pretty much it. So we'll meet here on the 4th. And then on the 4th, it's going to be like, that's the 4th, that's the it. Like all this thing, all this hype, it narrows down to the one day. So that's what it is. Somebody's asking, what if you applied alone and you get married or you have a baby? You just you add the new baby or the new spouse to your DS260. That's all you do. And then, but if you married them before, then that's a problem. But if you married them after you applied as single and you got married, you can add them to your DS260. If you got a baby after, you can add this new baby. Or if you got married and then you have stepchildren who are older, you can add them to your DS260 as well, because that happened after you applied. So step kids are your kids. So like if you win the green card lottery, decide to marry somebody and that person has 4 kids, you can all immigrate under the same visa, but you'll have a burden of proving that this relationship was real and you're just not marrying because you want to come to America. But you can definitely add them. Let's see, Lady Jada. Let's see if I'm gonna pull her up here. Hey.
Hi, Nafula. How are you?
I'm good. Do you have a question for us today?
Yes. Okay. I applied for the lottery, and I really wanted to understand more about the case numbers and when really to respond to the case numbers as they come.
So with the case number, if you go to my YouTube, Charlene Nafula, I did one video to differentiate between a case number and confirmation number. And I did another video that says high and low case numbers. Just go watch those videos, because that way when you have time, you sit down and understand everything. If I start explaining the case numbers right now, then this video is like we're going to be here for like another hour. So I did videos. That's why I do all those videos. I do all those videos so that I don't have to explain on my live. I do those videos so that like everybody can get the same information. So that'll be easy. Once you watch them, you won't have any questions.
Okay, maybe I can ask it in a simpler way. If you have a low case number, okay, do you need to start to apply for the visa?
Yeah, if you have a low case number, you need to complete your DS260 right away. And that's what the videos are about. It tells you like if you have a low case number versus if you have a high case number. So yeah. So if you have a low case number, you need to complete your DS260 right away, get a host and get the process rolling.
Okay, thank you. And then I also have kids, and I really wanted you host me. I don't know anyone in the United States, so and I heard when you say you don't host kids, I didn't understand. Maybe you could clarify on that.
So I don't host kids for so many reasons that I already did a video to explain that as well. I do videos, like I said, I do, like if you go, literally if you go on my YouTube and you go on my TikTok videos, you won't have any questions at all. Like I don't host kids for so many reasons. I talked about liability. I talked about I'm helping you get stable so you don't have a job, and then I have to help your kid. So if I'm helping your kid, I can't help another DV lottery winner. So I only help maximum 2 people per family, and they have to be adults. I don't have kids are good. Kids, you can come here and bring your kids later. So that's why I don't host kids. I know you can bring them later. But then somebody who won the green card lottery, if they lose the opportunity is gone. They'll never get it again. Like if it's a DV 2024, they don't come this year before, like if their visa, they don't get a visa before September, it's gone. But a DV lottery, your kids, even if they don't come now, they can come in 6 months or come after 3 years, but they'll still make it here somehow.
Okay, so if I don't come with my kids, I leave them. Okay, they still have access to use the green card.
They'll still have access for the 6 months. But then, like, if they don't come within the 6 months, then they can come within three to 5 years, pretty much.
Thank you so much. I think I'm satisfied now with your.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, let's get another person here. All right, let's see. Whoever comes in, the other one should mute the mic, otherwise it's gonna. All right, somebody's asking about. Hi, great. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. What's your question?
My question is that my senior high certificate,
Mm-hmm.
the year is the same, but the day and the month has changed. So that I wanted to ask you.
I already answered this. If you go to my YouTube video, in the beginning, the video is going to be live after this because I'm doing a live on my YouTube. So after I'm done and I end it, you can go and rewatch it because I explained how you can go around it. Like if you have any differences in names, year of birth, and all that stuff, I already explained that.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Let's go to the next person. Who is this? Yeah, they disappeared. Somebody's asking about affidavit of support. Affidavit of support, again, I did a video on affidavit of support. So if you go to my channel, there's something that say affidavit of support. I explain the difference between I-134 and I-864 and the legal implications for 2 forms. And then I told you, like DV lottery winners, they need the I-134. Not all embassies require it. Some embassies do not care for the I-134, but some embassies want it. And if you don't have it and they require it, they will not give you a visa. You'll need to find somebody in the US who can give it to you. So if you don't know anybody, that's going to be a problem. Like I said, I'm trying to work with somebody to see how we can help. It's still in the works. It's still in the early stages. I can't promise anything. I gave a lot of people. I gave almost more than, I don't know, should be like more than 80 or something. 80 something affidavit of support to different people in different countries. You know, I had to find sponsors and I gave it to them, and I exhausted. Now I don't have any sponsor at all. So if you have somebody, you know, in America who can help us, like, you know, help other people, especially African people, go nag them. Like if you have like relatives here, tell them, can you please help DV lottery winners and stuff like that. Let them sign up. And then they can sponsor somebody. It doesn't have to be from the same country. It can be different countries. But Geoffrey's sponsor was from Ghana. Geoffrey's from Uganda. And, you know, he was able to get a visa. So your sponsor does not have to be from your own country. So please, guys, let's do better. Like if you're in the US and you can sponsor 1 or 2 people. A lot of people who signed up, most of them from everywhere, but like East Africa was the least amount of people to sign up to help as sponsors. Like East Africa, Tanzania, they don't need it. So Tanzanians, but Kenyans, pretty much all Kenyans need affidavit of support, but a lot of Kenyans did not sign up to be. I think maybe 1. I think out of the 80 something people, only 1 was Kenyan, and then it ended up not even going through or something like that. But it is what it is, you know. You have to it depends. You know, some people have bad experiences. Maybe they hosted a DV lottery winner who did something, and then now it's just negative vibes everywhere. And some DV lottery winners, they get hosted and they become really bad. When they become successful, they are so nasty. And some people are like, you know what, if I hosted them and they became like that, I don't want to host anybody else. I'm not going to host any DV lottery winners. So nasty. And some people are like, you know what, if I hosted them and they became like that. All right. So how am I going to? I don't know. Somebody is up here. I don't know. I'm doing TikTok, so I hear my voice in the background, which is weird. Anyhow, I think, did I answer everybody's questions on YouTube? Somebody's asking about a contract in the Middle East, and then, you know, if they win, what will they do? So I'm not able to advise on your contract. I don't know what your contract is about. I don't know the duration of the contract. So it's up to you to decide. If when you win, if you want to go home and process, if you want to finish your contract, is on you. Haruna finished his contract. He actually got a visa, went back, worked for like a few months, got his retirement, went back to Uganda before he came here. So that's on you. Don't ask me what to do because I don't know. I'm not part of the contract, so I don't know. Let's see. Like, guys, like I said, if you're on TikTok or you're on my YouTube, if you go, like, the videos I posted the last 2 weeks is about green card lottery. I've done the support, what you need to do, like literally everything. I have even an interview with EBM scholars from Tanzania. He does a lot of stuff about DV lottery. He gave information that you can use. So you guys have done everything that I needed to do with the DV lottery. Somebody's asking about kids. Yeah, kids, if you apply together, if you say you immigrate together, they get a visa, you can come here first, but then you have to bring them within 6 months or before their medical expires with the kids. But then with if you don't do that, if you decide to leave them back at home and don't even process their visa, when you come here, you can petition to bring them. And sometimes it takes 3 to 5 years to bring them. So, but then it's good because then you'll be stable, you know? That's what you want. You want to be stable before you bring your kids here. Because if you don't have, you're not stable, bringing kids here will hold you way back. You can't go to school. You can't do anything because the kids, you need a nanny. Kids are here will hold you back. So if you want to come here, be stable, get an apartment, get a house, get a car, and go get your kids. They'll enjoy more than bring your kids and then they suffer. If you have like somebody who can watch your kids at home, I usually advocate for that. And I have 3 kids, so I know what kids entail. Some people, you know, they don't know, but I have kids. So I know, especially in New York with the childcare and stuff like that. Joey?
Hello, how are you?
Hi. What's your question?
Thanks for everything. My question is, if on the dvlottery I did another experience, I wrote another experience, can I change it on my 2 years to 60?
What experience are you talking about? Like high school or
Job
education?
experience.
Education?
Not education, job experience.
So, what do you mean job experience?
Job experience, because
So when they ask you, like, okay, so when you go to the DS to 60, you just select for your high. If you finished high school, you just say, you know, you put high school there, whatever level of education, you can put whatever. But then if you do not have high school, that's when you need your job experience. So if you have high
school, but I didn't perform well.
So you have to check, because like I said, in Kenya is D-. D- Kenya, the last grade is an E. Like E, if somebody like wakes up today, does not step in school, they go to high school and write something, they'll get an E. So D- is 1 grade above E. And so, which means like they don't require a lot, unless you literally failed in your high school. Otherwise, the grade that they require is very low.
What is it at 3rd grade?
Huh?
I'm from Uganda, but I got like a 3rd grade. It's like a C.
Yeah, so I don't know. You went to Form 6, right? Yeah, Form 6. I know that Uganda they require Form 6, but then I didn't ask the Ugandans. I should ask Geoffrey. Probably will know like what grade in Uganda they need. Oh, Haruna! I saw Haruna join. Haruna, are you there? Maybe he went. He's at work. Maybe he joined at work. He gets off at 5. Yeah. So I'll ask Ugandans and then I'll tell you what grade they need. But if you have high school, don't worry about job experience. Job experience is usually for people who do not have high school. If you don't have high school, yeah. And then on the DV lottery, on the application, I don't think they ask you where you work or anything like that. So, okay, all right. Let's go to the next person. Let me see. Let's see here. Let's go to Kasim. Let me see. Somebody's asking how old do the kids have to be they can stay home when they're 12, but you know, they can't just like you leave a 12-year-old by himself when you have to work for 16 hours or stuff like that. You know, it has to be like a safety issue, because if they're 12 and then something happens, they set the house on fire, then you're in trouble. So that's the thing. So here, unless somebody's an adult, I host people who are done with high school. Somebody who can apply for green card lottery is somebody who I'm gonna host. But little kids, I don't mess up with them because. Hi, Kasim. Kasim?
Hello, Charlene.
Hi, what's your question?
Yes. Okay, I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, are you getting?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Hello?
Yeah, I can get you, Kasim. Just keep talking.
Hello?
Kasim, you can just talk. I can hear you.
For example, if for example, I'll be selected,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to apply for hosting in your website.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I may get, for example, how do we call it? Case number, which is a bit high.
Mm-hmm.
Do I just need to apply for me to get a chance for the hosting, or that one is not recommended according to your rules?
So if you have a high case number, you just pay for your address or pay for the DS260. I won't have you pay for hosting if you have a high case number, because there's no need, you know. So if you have a low case number, that's when you pay for hosting, because I know I'm expecting you in the next few months. But then, like, if somebody's case number is high and you wouldn't make it here until 8 months later, I won't have you pay for hosting now. You know what I mean? So usually I look at the case number. That's why, like, when you go to pay, that page tells you to apply for hosting first. Because if you apply for hosting, I'll tell you if you need to pay or not. So you have to apply for hosting. After I get back to you, that's when you start paying. You don't pay before. If you do that, you start paying before, you'll get people who will start scamming you because they pretend to be me. But then after you apply, I'll use the phone number and the email that you give me. So if I reach out to you and it's your phone number and I tell you it's me and my number is a US number, then you know it's me. But then, like, if you just go and somebody tells you, like, okay, you applied for hosting, pay here, then it's a problem. So you apply, be patient, wait for me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And then after that, I'll tell you what you need to do. We can set up a Zoom meeting, talk about it, and that's what we'll do. But don't pay before I reach back to you.
Okay. Meanwhile, application is recommended.
Yeah, to apply, you have to apply for hosting, because if you don't apply for hosting, how do I know you need hosting? Because if you don't apply for hosting and 50 people come and apply, they're ahead of you. I go by, I don't care what country you're from. If you applied first, you get in first. I don't have any favorism unless somebody is my family member. Like, if you're a family member, I have to host you. Otherwise, over there in the village, people will be talking about me, right? If you're a family member, I'll host you like your priority. But if you're not my family member and everybody's a stranger, then first come, first served. I'm not gonna, no corruption, no nothing.
Okay, another question is, for example, in that process of filling from DS260, which one is the most important between passport and host address? Hosting, for example, the person who will be hosting you, which one is the most important between our details and the passport details?
So if you're completing the DS260, the host is important because you need a host address to complete the DS260. You can complete it without a passport, but you need both things. There's no one more important than the other one. Without both, you're not getting a visa. So look at it that way. Both are same important. So the only thing, like, you need a host to complete the DS260. But the passport, you can unlock and put it in there later. But then I encourage people, get your passport early so you don't have to unlock your DS260, because you have to write to KCC to tell them to unlock your DS260. Yeah. So there's 5 people. Let me get to the other ones. I know you said you had 3 questions, but like we have 5 people still waiting. Somebody's asking where I host people. I host people in New York. Patrick?
Hi, NAFULA.
Hi, what's your question?
You've mentioned something about case numbers. Please, if you can tell me now, just 1 minute so that I can let other people talk.
So case number, I cannot explain to you like in a minute. It's a process. So I did 2 videos on my YouTube. One is case number and confirmation number. The other one is high and low case numbers. Just go watch. You'll get all the information you need. I already did videos because I know everybody will be having the same question. And it's complicated. So everybody asking, like, you are the 3rd person asking about it. So if I was repeating and then they go, you join the live, and then now you ask the same question. Everything is on my YouTube channel, NAFULA SHARLEEN. Just go, you'll see the video. It's one of the videos I think I posted last week, so you won't even have to look for it. And it's going to be there.
I appreciate what you're doing.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the next person here. Sarah, let's go to Sarah. Let me see. Yeah, somebody's asking if I can host somebody from Morocco. I can host somebody from everywhere, as long as you won the green card lottery. Any other visa, I don't. But then if you won the green card lottery, I'll host you. Sarah?
Hi, NAFULA. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. What's your question, Sarah?
My question, the first question is, how does someone know that he or she has got a high or a low case number?
So the low case number, like the person who asked before you, same question. I have videos on my YouTube channel about high and low case numbers. So go watch that video. You'll have all the information that you need.
Okay, the next one is, my son is 17 years. Can I apply with him in case I go through?
So did you apply already?
Yes, I applied.
Did you add him?
Yes, I added him in when I was applying for dvlottery.
Okay, so when you win, you can add him to your DS260, and then you can come together.
Okay. Then the last question, I don't have high school results, but I have for senior 4 and for teaching.
So that I don't know how to advise you, because like all the countries are different. I don't know what qualifications are in all those countries. I just know a few, so I can't advise. But then if you ask people from your own country, probably they know.
But then I have for teaching certificate also.
So for work experience, you have to go to the website and check if your work experience qualifies. See how many points it is for your work experience. So you go check. You do the job for that. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's go to the next. Who was first? Let me organize by whoever. I don't even know. Okay. Let me just pick one. Let me see here, some questions here.
Madam NAFULA.
Oh, hi. Mukalazi.
How are you?
I'm good. What's your question?
I'm okay. Yeah, my question is not different to that woman. Because I applied last year, but I don't have A-level certificates, but I have a job here. I'm a painter. I can apply with that job.
So you have to go to the website and check. I'm not able to tell you that. I can tell you high school if you're from my country what the qualifications are, but in regards to work experience, you have to check with the website, and also sometimes you can check with the embassy too as well. If you're not sure before you go, you can just check and see if your work experience qualifies. So I'm not able to talk about work experience. I can only talk about high school qualifications, because there's so many work experiences that I'm not able to know all of them.
So I first check my experience, my work experience.
Yeah, check experience. Yeah. So check your work experience. Make sure like it qualifies all what you need. Because not all work experiences are acceptable. It has to be like 2 years work, 2 years training plus 2 years work experience. So go check and see.
Okay, thank you for that.
All right, you're welcome. Let's go to the next person here. Let's go to Peter. Let me see here. What time is it? 4:15. Right. Somebody's asking, what if? Let me pull this question here. So in Uganda, for as long as you got to, hold on, no, that wasn't the one I wanted to. I wanted to pull something else, but anyhow. So one thing about the principal applicant, if somebody wins, if you applied and then you won, you are the most important thing in the DV lottery, not your derivatives. If something happens to you, if maybe unfortunately the principal applicant passes away, the other people will not be processing. That's gone. If the principal passes away, then whatever the other people, they cannot process. That's one. If the principal applicant wakes up one day and decide like, I added my wife and kids and I don't want to go with them, they have a choice to do that. They can do that and there's nothing you can do to them. Another thing, like sometimes your principal applicant has to meet all the qualifications. Like if you need high school, your principal applicant needs to have the high school. The derivatives, like the wife or the husband, whoever was added, does not have to meet the requirements, but the principal applicant has. So you have to keep in mind about that. So if you're married and your husband won or your wife won, treat them very well before you get that visa, because they'll wake up one day and they're like, you know what, even you're not going to America, and that's it. So the principal applicant is important. Hire security guards if you have to. Protect them, give them nice food so they don't get maybe diarrhea and not show up at the embassy and stuff like that. So make sure you treat your principal applicants very well until you get a visa. And then even if you get a visa, the principal applicant has to immigrate first. So make sure like you all the way through that you treat that principal applicant really well. All right, Peter, do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, my question is, assuming you win the American lottery, and you have a host in the US, that you use the address to show your USB form. And you get to the interview and they ask you, do you know anybody in the US? How do you take it?
So, like I said, in America, just tell the truth. I don't know why we African people, we just feel like we need to lie about something. So if you go to the embassy, you're like, okay, this is my host. This is the address for my host. They ask you, do you know other people in America? If you have a brother here, you have a relative here, and you know them, they're here, just say yes. There's nothing they will do. It won't affect your visa. They're here. Yeah, my brother is there.
Assume you don't know anybody there. Assuming you are my host. If they ask you, do I know anybody there? Let's say yes or no.
Yeah, because if I'm hosting you, then you know me. How am I hosting you and you don't know me? Because a host doesn't have to be a relative. A host can be your friend, a friend of a friend, somebody from your church, somebody that you met online and you became friends, So you just tell the person, like, yeah, I have a friend in the United States who's going to host me. This is the name. This is where they live. They will ask you a few questions to see if it's true. What do they do there? Like, there's somebody that I give my information to go to the embassy, and they ask them, what visa did they go to in America with? So if they didn't know, they will say, oh, she won the green card lottery, but I didn't. I came as a student. So she's like, yeah, she went there as a student, and then now she's an American citizen. They're like, oh, okay, so you know her, So what they want to establish is like, do you know this person? It's not like they want that person to be your relative. You know what I mean? So if you know me, you just go there. Like if I'm hosting you, you go there, say, yes, NAFULA is going to host me. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next person. I have like a lot of people here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So like I said, on May 4th, whoever wins the green card lottery, start buying them good food. Don't give them stuff that they don't need to have allergic reactions. Everything needs to be good. No hospitalizations. They need to eat clean food, sleep well. Make sure you talk to them nicely so that they don't wake up and say that we're not going together. Because some people do. There's one case that I was dealing with. They had an argument and somebody's like, you know what, I decided, like, I removed my family. So somebody's like, so they won the green card lottery. The wife won the green card lottery. I don't know what happened between them or whatever. And then she was mad at the husband, and on the DS-260 and stuff, he said, I'm not immigrating with him or whatever. And then so now that happened before they started talking to me. Now she's coming to me to ask me, how can I change and unlock and put my husband there? So are you going to get into an argument before the interview and then say you're not going with him again, or what's happening here? You know, sometimes like green card lottery, sometimes is helping people. Sometimes it's giving therapy to people. I feel like I'm a therapist sometimes. I'm like, what is going on? So when somebody wins, you know, even if they're kichwa ngumu, you know, you have like, you know, that spouse who like hard-headed, kichwa mawe, you know. If they win the green card lottery, you know, they won the green card lottery, and then that's the chance to come to the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, you can pretend for 8 months or a couple months until you get a visa. Just be nice to him. Yeah? They go over there, they cheat, they come, you cook nice food and give it to them. You're like, sir, I know you cheated, but then the Bible says forgive everybody, right? Forgive them. Eh? Well, forgive them, they do whatever they want to do. Sema nimekusame. Eh? So, and then once you go to the embassy and you get a visa and land here, and then it's a different story. That's why a lot of people who win the green card, they come here and get divorced, let me tell you. I know this is stuff that people don't like to talk about, but a lot of people who come here, they never last. So ni argument ilianzia nyumbani. So it happens. So if somebody wins the green card lottery, stop with the makelele. If you're in the house every time making noise here, there, makelele, calm down. Say, you know what? Niliongelewa na Holy Spirit, akaniambia ninyamaze. Nikuwe mke mzuri, you know? Yeah. And then after that, once you get here, you can do, because it's a land of opportunities. So if you get here, you realize how much, like, trust me, if I was in Kenya, probably I'd be married with like 13 kids somewhere in the village. I don't know, maybe. You know, so America is a land of opportunities. That's why I'm giving you all this information on my YouTube channel. Why? Because I was given that opportunity. So if you can come to America, my friend, pretend. Principal applicant akishinda. If it's your parents who won and they added you as derivatives, even if you've not gotten an A in school, this term that's opening, go to school, get that A. Tell daddy, I got an A just for you. If you know that he won, you come here. Asifikirie kukuacha huko home. Aseme huyu mtoto ni kisirani. Anyhow, who is this? Rashi? Aichi? Hi, what's your question? Yes.
My question is, if you want the green card and you fill the DS-260, the host has to be a dvlottery
No.
Just
Nope. Your host just need to have like a residence here. Like if they have like a place, they have an address, you know, they're legal in the US, they can host you. So with hosting, for anybody to host you, they can be legal in the US, they have a house and they can host you. To be a sponsor is different. You have to be a citizen or a legal permanent resident to actually sponsor somebody with the I-134 or I-864. But then to be like, just be hosted, you can be hosted by anybody. And also with the sponsorship, some country will take people on H visa. Somebody, I don't know if they told me the truth or not. They're like, they got somebody from H visa. The thing is, like, they don't like to give people on work visa or non-immigrant visas. Why? Because they can say they will sponsor you and they get into a problem where they will be deported next month. Because if you're on non-immigrant visas, you can be deported at any time. So they don't want to use that as a sponsor, because what if this person is deported, then you are left in the United States with no sponsor. So that's why they want your sponsor to be a citizen or a permanent resident. But for just hosting, anybody can host you as long as they're not like, they can prove somebody with an income. They have an address. They have a lease. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, if they think you're, you know, some people, they request, but this happens when people start lying. Because there's somebody, I think there was an embassy in, where was it? Ghana, I think. They went there and then they said they had this host. They had to make the host either provide like proof of address. like they live there, and then they had to provide like a lease for the apartment or something like that. So for them to ask you extra stuff, they suspect like there's something that you might be hiding. But then if somebody is like here legal and whatever, there's no issues at all. They can host you.
Okay, and I wanted to ask again, if you are the DV applicant and your relatives is the one that you wrote for the number for the host's address, but in your case you said not applicable. Can it affect, or you have to open the DS260?
Like not applicable. What do you mean, like number of the host? The phone number?
The phone number.
No, you don't need to open a DS260. Don't unlock it just to put like to put a phone number in. Maybe they didn't have a phone at that time. Just make sure you have their phone number just in case they ask, like, they want to verify something, which they rarely do. But if they have to, just have the phone number of the embassy. Don't unlock your DS260. DS260 you unlock like if you want to put your passport information. That's a huge thing. If maybe you want to add your family, maybe you got married and you want to add your kid at that time or your spouse at that time, those are the stuff you unlock your DS260. Or maybe you applied and then they don't like if you switch marital status from single to married, married to single, that stuff will mess you up. But then if there's a huge change in your life, like you got married, you had a baby, you got a passport, you can unlock your DS260. Or you move to a different country, unlock and update your current address. Don't unlock your DS260 to change like a spelling in your high school name, stuff like that. Don't unlock for that. Unlock for serious stuff. The other stuff you can just explain at the embassy.
Okay. Okay, for this case, is the relatives that I wrote the phone number for the host. But in my case, I never wrote the phone number of the host.
You don't have to. As long as you have the address, that's fine. That's all you need. Because at the embassy, when you go to the embassy, they will ask you about this host. If they want their phone number, they'll ask you, what's the host phone number? Where do they live? What do they do? Where do they work? So if you know where somebody, their name, their birthday, like all the information about them, how they came to the United States, who cares about if you have their phone number or not? There's so many people in America choose not to have a phone number. They want to live off the grid and they don't have phone numbers. So what happens to those? So phone number is not a big issue. As long as you have the address, you should be good. All right. Let me invite somebody else because you're welcome. Let me see Hassan. TikTok sometimes is, now I don't know how to disconnect people. Hey, Hassan?
Okay.
Hi, what's your question? Alaikum salam. What's your question?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
NAFULA, like I told you, it's about the same recurring thing. My wife, she applied single and married, but we are not married yet. We just have 4 days for the.
So, like I told you the last time, that's for a problem that you have to fix. I can't help you with that. Like, there's nothing I can do. Or tell me, how do you want me to help you with that?
Actually, the marriage certificate will have its own date, and the initial date for applying will also have its own date, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say here is not like someone spending a lot of money going for medical interview, and at the end.
So with the marriage, so I'm gonna tell you this: if she applied as married and she was not married, if she shows up with the wrong marriage certificate with the wrong date, she'll be denied a visa. But then don't worry about that until she wins, because winning is not easy. So let's her win first. Once she wins, we'll go from there.
I understand, NAFULA. I know it's a problem for me.
Yeah. So once you win, deal with it. Now you're worrying. Maybe you're worrying about stuff that you shouldn't be. You will not be worried about for. So if she wins, good. If she doesn't win, then it's not a problem to worry about.
Yeah, Ms. NAFULA. If she wins, I don't know how we can resolve this. If actually she wins, there's another thing.
Yeah. So sometimes, like if you win and you can't get your visa, there's next year. You can apply next year. You can come as a student. You can come as a visitor. You can come in America in so many ways. Because if you lied, you lied. There's nothing I can fix that. I don't work for the DV lottery website.
NAFULA, is it actually lie? Is that lie or is just like exaggeration?
On paper is a lie. It's not an exaggeration because literally on the paper you're lying. If you say you're married and you're just living together and not married, then that's a lie on paper. Okay, let me go.
What about
Hold on, Hassan. Let's go to the next person first. Because I have 6 people, let's do Steve. Because literally if you applied like you're single, you applied married, you don't have a marriage certificate, you show up with a marriage certificate after, like you lied on paper. So there's nothing I can do. Steve?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, Steve. What's your question?
Please, I wanted to ask if I check and I win, next I have to fill the forms, right? Yeah, so on the forms, will it be required to fill the address of the host?
Yes.
So by then I have to put something for the host address, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
All right.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, let's go to the next person here. Dennis, I think.
Hi, NAFULA.
Hi, what's your question?
Okay, my question is, back then when we applied, me and my wife and kid, I traveled. So if I win, and I believe I'm gonna win, do I have to go back to Kenya to go to the embassy, or I can sign where I am?
No, you can do your interview wherever you are, and then it's a process, but then they can do the interview wherever they are too, like 2 different embassies. But usually I advise, because of the complexity of the issue, if you can fly and all of you get the interview at the same time, same embassy, that's the most ideal situation. Especially if you have family.
Yeah. It's me, my wife, and kid.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just check it. It's easier if you all go and do the interview at the same embassies. Because if you do different embassies, sometimes it's just too complicated of an issue. And this is a once in a lifetime thing. So you have to take advantage of it. Do the best that you can to make sure it works. All right. So let me see the next person here. I am CC maybe. Let's see. Let me put 2 people here. I don't know if my moderator, I think she's sleeping today. All right, let's see here. Let me see if I have any questions on TikTok, on YouTube. Somebody's asking, how do I join in to participate in the live? So I'm on TikTok. So the people asking questions are on my TikTok. So if you want to ask live, it's on TikTok. YouTube, I don't think you can join in the YouTube. All right, Sisi?
Okay, hi, NAFULA.
Hi, what's your question?
Okay, on work experience.
Yeah, good evening.
Hold on, love. Ex-love or something.
Good evening.
Hold on. Wait. Sisi, you can go. I don't even know how to mute.
Okay,
oh, Lord.
Experience. Say you worked for the 2 years that they require, and then now maybe your boss, you maybe ended up in pretty bad, so you do not have the confirmation letter from that place. So how do you go about it and then you ask?
Yeah, so with the work experience, you'll need a letter from your employer or copies of payments or whatever, but you'll still need a letter from your employer because it's just like a recommendation letter. You'll need a letter to say that this person was hired within this company for a certain amount of time. So if you don't have that, I don't know what to do because they'll need to provide that letter to prove that you worked with them. Okay. All right. XP Love.
If you have your KCSE.
Oh, if you have your KCSE, you don't need a letter. So if you have your KCSE, you don't need work experience. Forget about that. So work experience is for people who need. So with the DV lottery, you need one or the other. So if you have KCSE, you finished high school, You do not need to prove work experience. Work experience is only for people who do not have high school. Okay. All right. XP. XP, you're still there? XP?
Yeah, good evening, yeah.
Hi, what's your question?
Yeah, I want to ask my question. I want you to be my host if I win.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you what is the process to take?
So if you go on my YouTube, the live I'm doing right now, after I end it, is gonna be on my YouTube. So just go click on the live. I already went over how to apply for hosting and all that. So it's in the video already. And also if you're on my TikTok, watch my videos. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to ask you, on the list they asked me of my children, so I was having one kid before. So after a second kid comes, so if I'm going to the ambassador, would I take the 2 kids or only the 1 kid to go, the baby?
No, you'll take like everybody who's immigrating, you just take them to the embassy with you. Because they have to go there. Okay, yeah. So everybody who's immigrating, you take them to the embassy with you. Somebody's asking about payment, like is it before or after? So when I started my hosting program, usually people will come here and then they get stable, they get a job, and then they pay. But then that was when I had 1 person or 2 people. It's easy. Now I have all these people. So how am I going to sustain all these people? That's the question. And then I realized if people don't pay before they come here, then it doesn't let me host a lot of people. Because now if I'm supporting just this 1 person, I can't help the other people. So when you pay, you have to pay because where are you coming to sleep? You need a mattress. You need blankets. You need spoons. You need forks. You need plates. So where are you going? Now if you're going for a vacation or you're visiting your village or you're going to Dubai, do you just go there with not knowing where you're going to stay? You have to have a place, a plan, right? Even if you rent an apartment, you need stuff in that apartment. So you have to pay before you come because that money is the one we use to buy the supplies that when you get into a room, you like your room, you have a bed, you can cook a hot meal and eat and go about your day. So the money that you pay, that's what we use that for. So we can't be like, okay, come and do what? Sleep on the floor? I can't let you come and sleep on the floor because now people will be doing videos and posting me everywhere that I'm making people sleep on the floor. So I don't do that. And people are like, oh, why are you not hosting people for free? Me host people for free, adults for free. If I was hosting kids, I can host kids for free. A whole adult, I cannot host any adult for free. Why? Look at your life. You live in your house with your kids, with your family. Every time you drive to work and back, you see all those street kids, all those homeless people in Africa. Nobody's taking all those people in. You leave the street kids on the street, you go home and cook a hot meal and sleep. Why are you not inviting that street kid to come and live in your house for free? But then you're quick to say, host me for free. Why do you want to be hosted for free when you yourself, you cannot host anybody for free? Why is that? Because life is expensive. I can't wake up and go to work and get my money to come and pay bills for a whole adult. I can't do that. I know I want to help people. If you support me, if you come on my TikTok, right now, whoever wants to be hosted for free, come on my TikTok, drop 5 lions right now. You're like, I'm dropping you 5 lions. This one is for hosting people. Different story. I'll know 5 lions were given, we can host this amount of people. But on my TikTok, who's gifting me? People are like, no, we'll just watch, ask questions, but we won't drop lions. But we want to be hosted for free. How is that going to work? It's not going to work that way. So sometimes, if we get more support from the outside, then we are able to help more people. But if ourselves, we're not getting support, how are we going to sustain all those people? Because nobody wants to go to work to just use their money to pay for stuff. Even you see, even TikTokers who help people, they get money first from the platform to actually help people. They are not using their own money. Some people who help, who are rich and they just want to support people, then fine, but they're very few. So that's how it works. I cannot host you for free because I wake up in the morning, I go to work. I'm here making noise for 2 hours, no pay. So this is the free stuff you're getting, free information. But then to come get a warm blanket, warm room, the room has either heat or AC. Nice clean weather, nice environment, nice everything. Just know it's paid for. So you need to pay first. So I want to host you for free, but like, yeah, if you want that, rally some people around to come give me like 10 lions. I'll host like even a lot of people for free. But before that happens, unajilipia, my friend. So that's how it works. Let's go to Israel. All right, Israel. Let's see. Let's wait for him to get in. I think, what time is it? Yeah, I think it's time to end the live. But Israel, what's your question?
My question is, if I am South Sudanese and I was doing my KCSE in Kenya, I can apply, right?
If you completed KCSE in Kenya?
Yeah, and I am South Sudanese.
Yeah, you can apply because you have. Yes, you can. Because it doesn't matter where you went to high school. As long as you completed 12 years of schooling, 12 years of study, then you're fine. So so whatever, it doesn't matter what country, it doesn't have to be the country where you're applying. Like if like somebody, like even if some people come to the US, do high school and go back home, as long as the education is here, you can prove your high school equivalent. And if they need those documents certified, there's a way you can get certified. Those documents can be certified in Kenya, then you're fine. So it doesn't have to necessarily be like in your home country.
Like in year 2022, I was applied, but they have not selected me.
Yeah. So if you applied in 2023, then the results are coming out on Saturday.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So let's see here. Somebody's asking, like, where can I support? So there's so many places. One, we have like a website, nafulaconnect.com. If you go and click on nafulaconnect.com, there's a place that says donate. There's so many people who have donated. That's why you see sometimes we go extra. So that our rooms are not just like, like look at people, the way other people are getting hosted. You'll see like they just have a room just like that. But we make our rooms look nice. We make like there's a picture there, there's a TV. Your room bed is comfortable, big bed, nice covering, beddings and stuff like that. So we won't be doing that if people are not donating on the website. So people go to nafulaconnect.com, they just say donate. When you say donate, you can donate whatever you want. If you want $1, $10, $100, $10,000, whatever you can afford, you just donate there. And usually, like if we use your money to buy something, we usually send you an email. Even with the item, we say like, you donated $5 and this $5 used to buy this item here. So that's how we run our program. So that's how, like, in case you want to donate, you can go to my website. I have Cash App. Also, I have PayPal. Like if you go on my YouTube, you go on my profile, there's PayPal account, there's Cash App, there's website. So there's so many ways to support if you want to support. And like I said, if I got somebody rich, like if there's somebody loaded right now, they are watching and they're like, you know what? I want to sponsor the five people, the first month rent. That's fine. You sponsor them. I'm hosting 5 people for free. Anybody needing, because I'll use that money to buy whatever they need in the room. And then they don't have to pay. They just come and then no problem. But then if no support, you can't tell me to host people for free. At least I'm doing stuff, going out of my way to get a house. So you can chip in by supporting if you want people to be hosted for free. Be part of the change. Don't just sit on the sideline. You're like, oh, you should be doing this. You should be, no. Contribute, and then that way we're able to, like, help a lot of people. All right, let's see. I'm going to get let me see this one. I'm going to get just 2 people, and then I think we're done. We'll meet on Saturday. I still have guests on my TikTok, but yeah, it's too late. Hi. So before hi, what's your question?
Hi. My question is about the DSU 60. I tried to do my research on that. It says we have to pay around 445. I don't know.
For your DS260?
445. Yeah.
Not the one for DV lottery winners, at least. Did you win the green card lottery?
From the other?
Did you win the green card lottery, or is a marriage petition?
Different. No, I'm waiting for the DV.
Oh, so yeah, so that's not the same thing.
The result.
No, DS260 is free.
So
completing the DS260 is free.
For DV.
For DV lottery is free.
For
it is free. Okay. So let's go to Jesse. But then, like, if you go to DS260, like I showed, go to my live, you'll see the video I did about the DS260, where to find it, and then it's gonna be free to complete it. You don't pay a single dime to complete your DS260. If you pay somebody who's gonna help you. Like if you want me to complete the DS260 for you, I will charge you. The DS260 is free. But because you don't want to do it and you want me to do it, then I charge you to help you to do it. So Jesse. All right. Let's get other people. Let me just get a few from my YouTube here. So somebody's asking if they can pay in installments. Yeah, if you want to pay in installments, that's completely fine. Like some people, you know, they can't save the money, you know. So they're like, okay, I can pay this amount, this amount, this amount. By the time it's time to be hosted, I've paid the whole amount. That's fine too. As long as the payment is made before you come. Whichever way you do it, choose to do it. That's on you. And then also, like you said, when you pay, you get a receipt for it. You know, once you pay, so that way I can send you the receipt even if you don't receive. Like sometimes maybe you have it goes to your spam folder and stuff like that. I'll send you the receipt, and then as long as we have evidence, proof of payment, like we can host you. No problem with that. All right, let's see. So so with the green card lottery, some people ask like how long until you become a citizen. Green card lottery, when you come here, 5 years to become a citizen, but if you marry an American citizen, then you'll be a citizen in 3 years. So whichever way you choose to go about it, you'll be a citizen anyways. If you don't want to be a citizen, because there's some people, they don't want to be a citizen, like citizens of China. I think Tanzania is one of them, where like if you become a citizen in the US, you lose your Tanzanian citizenship. They don't have the dual citizenship. That way, you can just stay with your visa. The one you get is good for 10 years. And then you'll just be renewing 10 years, 10 years, 10 years if you do not want to become a citizen. So they don't force you to become a citizen. If you don't want, you can just be a permanent resident. Okay. All right. I think this is done. So I've been on live for like a long time, 2 hours. That's a long time. So on Saturday, I'll be here. Tell your friends to tell your friends to tell their friends to tell their other friends. Share my channel, especially my TikTok, my YouTube. Share with everybody so that they can come check results. If they won, you know, we'll put them in the hosting queue. And then, you know, if they don't have money to pay, we'll see. Maybe we'll come and do donations. I don't know. Maybe if people, when they win and then maybe they're here, they're talking to you. They're like, oh, please help me with hosting. Oh, please help me with this. Maybe you'll help them. So we'll try, you know, we'll try everything that we can. I don't do like, you know, donating for like, you know, like the problem with home, you might donate for people, but some people take advantage. They have money, but then they don't want to use their own money, pretend to not have the money so that you can use your money. So sometimes what I can do, like I feel like if you donate a ticket, like this is my idea. You know, my idea is for the general good. Like if you donate a ticket for somebody, let's say somebody comes here and then we donate a air ticket or we donate embassy fee and we donate that. I feel like if we donate for that person, it's not going to go to that person. It's going to go to the pool. So that once we donate for that person will use the money for the air ticket. They'll use the money for the visa. But once they get here, they pay for the next person who's coming. So that way, the amount that we donate for one person can trickle down to like 6 people. Because if you come every day, somebody wins, oh, let's donate for this one. Let's donate for this. Then you donate so much that you just get fed up. So I feel like if we put that money into a pool, that once they get here, they're going to get a good job. That's for sure. So they'll be able to pay that money, like maybe even in 2 months or 3 months after they start working. So then they're paying for the next person who wins. The next person pays, the same money pays for the next person, the next person, and the next person. That way you can help a lot of people. I'm just thinking that's an idea, that if you have to donate for people, do it for the general good. Don't just donate for an individual. Just do one thing that will trickle down to like 100 and whatever people. You can still use the same air ticket. Air ticket that you donated in 2023 is still trickling down to all the way in 2035. They're still using the same amount, because you come here, you pay back, it helps the next person to just offload the burden of like having to process that, the visa with using a lot of money. Anyhow, my partner, let me see. So most of the questions that you're asking, I'm not answering a lot of them because videos, like I said, go to my YouTube channel, Sharleen NAFULA, type Sharleen NAFULA, DV Lottery. If you just type NAFULA only, NAFULA, DV Lottery, NAFULA, whatever, it's going to bring my channel. Go over there, watch those videos before Saturday. When you win on Saturday, I'm telling you, you won't have any problem processing the visa. And then also on my TikTok, I've done a series, DV Lottery series. Go click on the series. Just go through the videos. Also have like information. Like I posted today how to check for the results. And then somebody's asking me, how do you check for the results? In the comment section, I'm like, I just posted. So this is a video about DV Lottery results. Somebody puts a comment in the video asking, how do you check the results? I'm like, sometimes content creators, we have problems out here, I'm telling you. Somebody asks you a question that the video is answering, and they're expecting you like, oh, why didn't you answer me? So sometimes tunaumia huku. So please just do your work, do your research. I wasn't born with all this information about DV Lottery, trust me. Mimi nilikuja kama student. I wasn't born with all this information. I just had to research, I had to learn, I had to get experience from people. That's why I'm able to share with all of you. So I know all of you can get the same information from everywhere else. But anyhow, today for my YouTubers, thanks for hanging out with me. I know for my YouTube is late. YouTube ni watu wa mapema. Usually I need to come like at noon for my YouTube people. But I'm surprised it's 4 and they're still here. So thank you so much for joining me today. For my YouTubers, bye for now. I'll see you on Saturday. Come here. I'll be here very early before the results come out at 12. By 10 nitakuwa hapa. We'll be over here just meditating, just talking positive vibes, and then we'll be checking the results at noon. Otherwise, if you have any question, you can type it in the comment section of this video below. Otherwise, for my YouTubers, bye for now. All right, so let's go to, let me see how many